Hi, stamping friends, it's Sherry Parker coming to you live on Wednesday, June 24th. Hope you're having a great month. I've been away for the last couple weeks. Bill and I went to Europe. We visited Spain and France and Italy. It was a great trip. I'm happy to be home, get back to crafting, and share some fun ideas with you. So thank you for watching tonight. I really appreciate it. And I think you're gonna really like the card that we're making tonight. While I was gone, I did post a card every day just to kind of some of my favorite cards. And one of the cards I posted was this one right here. And a lot of people were asking me about it. So this is a card that we made years ago using the thumping technique. So if you haven't heard of that, it's nothing new. It's something that we used to do years and years ago. And it's a fun technique, and I thought I would show you tonight in case it's new to you or you haven't thought about it in a long time. It's a really easy thing to do and lots of fun. Really adds some cool interest. So that's what we're going to make tonight. Not this card, but we're going to use the technique. So I'm going to turn my camera over and I'll show you what we're going to make. Thank you. I'm happy to be home, Michelle. I really am. So tonight we're going to be using products from the new catalog. Specifically on pages 34 and 35, there's a suite called Moonlit Flora, and it has a really beautiful paper, stamps, die cuts, and embellishments. So from that suite on our card tonight, we'll be using the Designer Series paper. It's beautiful greens and different patterns, ferns on one side, and then when you turn it over, it has some really nice basic patterns, basic colors, very simple. And so it's a very versatile Designer Series paper. Really like the variety there. So I'll be using that Designer Series paper, and that is called the Moonlit Flora Designer Series paper. Then the stamp set and die cut is called Fern and Flora. It's a bundle. We will only be using the stamps tonight, not the dies, but it's a really nice, beautiful set there. You can see the dies on this side. And finally, we will be using the Dewdrops embellishments. Really pretty greens, blues, and clear. Just really nice embellishments. All right, so the card we're going to be making is this one here, and we're using that thumping technique, and it's a fun fold card, so very simple to do. And I just wanted to kind of share this technique with you, or bring it out of the closet if you haven't seen it in a while, because it really is it's a fun way to dress up a project. Okay, I'm going to set that aside and then show you what the products that we're going to be using tonight. So you will need, if you want to make this card, it's a fun fold. It can apply to really any stamp set or Designer Series paper. But you'll need a card base that's 4.5 by 11, and then you're going to score, and I'll do that in just a minute. You'll need a piece of Designer Series paper that's 4 by 5.25, another piece of Designer Series paper that's 4 by 2.5, and you'll need 2 each of the white and the whatever your backing color is. I happen to have Secret C here. The white will be 4 by 2 3/4, and the backing cardstock sheet would be 4 1/4 by 3. And you'll need 2 of each of those. All right, I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to go ahead and get our card base done. We will score along our long side here, and I will show you what we're doing. So I will go ahead and score this at 5.5, and then also at 2 3/4. And so you're basically scoring it in half and then in half again, and then it'll fold up just like that. So I would use like your bone folder or something to kind of keep that fold so it lies flat. And that's your card base. Then you'll go ahead and use your pieces of Designer Series paper. And of course, you need to pick which side you want to use. I'm going for a really subtle tone-on-tone look for the inside of my card here. And I will go ahead and adhere that to the card base. So you can see this is the new Golden Glow in color. So that card base, as well as the Designer Series paper. And then this piece, I just cut this little square 4 by 2.5, and I'm using the fern side for this front flap here. So this is a very basic, easy layout to do with any combination of paper, designer series paper and everything. So really nice results with this. Okay, let's do our thumping. So it was funny when I posted that card, a lot of people were like, oh yeah, I remember that. And then some are like, I've never even seen that before. So I thought, wow, you know, sometimes the old stuff becomes new again, right? So the way you do thumping is you'll take a stamp. And so in this case, I've got a fern, and I'm gonna stamp it in this light color. Whoops, wrong one. The Golden Glow. See, I would recommend stamping, or at least inking it up in the lighter color first, okay? And then you'll simply turn it right side up like that. And you're gonna wanna get some water-based markers, okay? So you might be familiar with, you know, our blends and other things, but you're gonna wanna use a water-based marker. So we don't carry the Stampin' Right markers anymore, but you probably have markers at your house. It's best if you have kind of a bigger, like a brush tip. And you know, this is how it gets the name. You just literally are thumping this right onto your stamp, okay? There's no rhyme or reason. Just, so I've got Cajun Craze here. I've got an old olive green, and I'm just going to simply kind of thump it on here, get some color on there randomly. I've got, this is Garden Green. So as I mentioned, these were discontinued this year, the water-based markers. I think primarily because people really are enjoying our blends, and I'll show you those in just a second. So anyway, I've basically just covered my little fern here with the base color of Golden Glow, and then I've used the different markers. And I'm going to simply stamp on to my paper, and voila. Can you see the color variation? Super easy to do and really pretty. And everyone comes out differently. That's what I really like about it too. So I've got my fern on there. One thing I wanted to call out before I finish up the card is you may be wondering, well, hey, you know, I have my Stampin' Blends. Can I use those? Well, the answer is no. So the reason is the Stampin' Blends are an alcohol-based marker. So they dry quickly. They're really wonderful for coloring in an image onto your paper. But I wanted to just illustrate and show you what I mean. So here is an example. I used the alcohol markers and I thumped on them with the alcohol marker. It dries. So if you see that, like that doesn't even come off. I could probably scrub it and it will come off, but it dries, and that's the whole purpose of the alcohol markers. If you think about how you can actually color these, because they're like permanent, you can actually color onto plastic and things. So you can't do that with a plastic or with a water-based marker. So if you kind of think about it like that, this will not work for the thumping technique. You need a water-based marker. So if you have old Stampin' Rights, those will work, or if you have another type of water-based marker. So, all right, so we've done our image here. Now I'm going to stamp a greeting, and this is from that same Fern and Flora stamp set. You're an amazing friend. And I'm gonna go ahead and mount that to my Secret C. So I've got Secret C ink and Secret C cardstock. We'll do that. And then for the inside sentiment, if you remember, I don't have any greetings per se, but I do have a couple of the little moth images. So I'm going to use the moth and stamp him and Secret C on each corner. And then you could leave it like this. You could color it in with a blend marker here, or why not pull out our new shimmer brushes. These are available in the end colors. So I've got the Golden Glow here, so I can color in my little moth. And the cool thing about these, they're liquid, so they have this shimmer in them, and it might be hard to see on camera here, but I will hold it up as soon as I'm done. I'm going to do one moth in golden glow, and then I'm going to do another one in peaceful pine. So you can kind of see, but because they're liquid, you know, it moves it around and you'll get that nice little shimmer. So I will hold this up and hopefully you can see that, a little shimmer. Yeah, you can kind of see that. So we will go ahead and adhere this one also to our base, which is Secret C. And then to finish the card, because we are almost done, see how quickly this comes together. For my inside, I would recommend going ahead and adhering that first. And it's a lot easier to line up. So kind of center that into the inside of your card, put your flap over, and then we will simply overlay this piece on top. So remember, just put adhesive on half of it because the other half will be folding over. So see how easy that is to line up if you do it that way. Super easy. And then really last but not least, I would take your embellishments and then just go ahead and decorate the front of the card however you wanted. And since I colored this one golden glow, I'm going to put that on there. And we'll put a green one on too. And there you have it. Easy peasy and a fun technique. So you can really use this with any different, you know, kind of stamp. I think it looks really cool with these outline stamps. So that is this week's project. I hope you like that. And again, the inspiration was this old card. This is from the set Lovely as a Tree. It's from years and years ago. And that's really where I first experimented with this technique. So fun to bring it back. Fun to bring back the old stuff. All right, before we sign off tonight, a few weeks ago, this was the card that we made on the Facebook Live, a really pretty, fun, full card in black and white. And I'm going to draw for the winner of this card because anyone who comments on or shares is eligible automatically to win the cards that I make each week. So make sure you comment on or share this week's card, and I will draw the winner next week. So we'll go ahead and draw for last week's card, and the winner is... I'm all stuck. It is Mary Harris. So Mary, this is the card that you won, and I will have to get your address and I will mail this to you. But I do thank all of you who do tune in each week and comment on and share because it's a lot of fun to spread the joy, and I do appreciate you. And last night I drew the winner of a really big prize, a free stamp set. Felicia was the winner of that for commenting on and sharing the whole time I was gone in Europe. So that was a lot of fun. So thank you so much again. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful rest of your week and try this technique. I'd love to hear about it. Take care. Good night.